Okay, hello. This is gonna be my hopefully short tutorial on just adding some texturing and grunge and all of that stuff. So let's get right into it. Let's open up this, disable all of these, so we can start with the clean design. And as you can see, all of these are fill layers with masks. So that's the basic way that I do basically anything, is I just add a fill layer, apply a black mask, and I go from there. Most basic way we can start on adding some texture and some grunge and whatever is just, like I said, fill layer, black mask, then we can add a generator. So let's use a metal edge first of all, and I'm gonna alt click on the mask just to view it alone. It's adding edgeware, it looks pretty good. You can play with the settings, whatever, that's fine. What I wanna show you mainly is how to expand on this to make the mask more personal and custom, and be able to control like how much damage it is doing on any single part that you want. So how do we do that? Well, you can just open up the textures, and let's say you grab this clouds texture, you can add it on top. Now if you play with this, you can also get some decent looking, grunge. Like you could use this on its own to add some color variation, and it can look pretty good. But what we are going to use it for is we are going to multiply it with the edgeware underneath it, which ends up in the cloud texture breaking up all of the edgeware. We can even increase the contrast so you can really see what I'm going for. And if I disable it and enable it, you can see how much change it makes to the edgeware underneath it. It stops looking like the edgeware is uniform all over the like the weapon, and it starts looking like actual real damage that just happened. Yeah, so that's one way you can add some personalization. But another way that I really like is using the curvature generator, because this, if we increase the contrast, can see it also gives us some, it basically highlights all the edges on their own, and then you can just use any texture that you want to multiply it with, and it's gonna work as a edgeware layer. Okay, let's say you have this edgeware and you want to apply it only to this magazine, and you want to add it to the top so it looks like it's been inserted and taken out over and over. So there's like a lot of damage on this top part, but maybe not that much damage on this lower part. So what we can do, we can again do our multiply method to get some variation, and then on top of it we can add some gradient. So let's add it. Let's first position it to where we want to. So what I did right now is I turned off repeat. If I have it on repeat, you can see it is repeating this gradient across the whole scene basically. If I turn it off, it only affects whatever is inside this guide box, which is what I want. We position it on the magazine how we want it, and again we multiply it. Then we can play with this gradient, and boom, we have some realistic damage on just one part of the mesh. Yeah, but also if you look, it is masking out the rest of the mesh where our gradient is, but if it's outside of that box, it's still gonna apply it fully. So that's not something we want. So what we can do is we can add a paint mask layer, and we can use polyfill to just erase whatever we do not want. So for this part, let's say I want it only on the mag, so I highlight everything else, and now we have it just on the magazine. Okay, now that we've talked about how we create our masks and how we control where we want all the grunge to go, let's look at actually like how to choose colors and how to choose roughness values and all of that stuff. So if we look at our first layer here, this is for the just the main body. Anything that's metallic is outside of this. So let's start with the base color. So if I enable it, you can see I'm adding this hash texture, which is actually a fiberglass edge generator, and it is applying to all of the edges. And I chose a lighter color since usually when you have scratches and edge damage, it is gonna turn up a lighter tone than whatever the material is made out of. Also, when we are on topic of edge damage, if we look at the roughness channel, you can also see it is a higher roughness value than whatever the main material is. Again, it's for the same reason, because edge damage usually turns out more rough than if you have like a smooth material. Let's look at this next layer, which is just a darker version of the base color. So if I turn it on and off, you can see it is only making darker spots. It's not really edge specific, it's just covering everything. If I look at the actual texture, it's just a grunge bush texture with triplanar projection, and that's about it. Let's move on to the next. Now this is some muzzle grunge. Let me enable it. You can see it is also covering this yellow design, so that's also adding some, you know, realistic damage, and it looks pretty cool. Again, I did the same earlier. I actually did it in a better way here by using the gradient as the most bottom layer of the mask. you can just make it, you can just place it however you want, and then you stack the edge on top of it with a multiply, and then you break it up again with whatever texture you want. And for the last layer, it is just some directional noise combined with the dirt generator. So again, this is like something you just have to play with and figure out what looks nice to you. I sometimes like using directional noise, especially on metals. Now we move on to the metallics. Let's open up this one. This is again some color variation. Let me turn on base color. You can see it's pretty faint. I could probably make this more apparent, but yeah. So it is adding some color variation, and I also have some metallic here. You don't really need it, like it's not gonna look too different, but again, it's just like a small thing that's different than the rest of it, that breaks up the flatness of the design and just makes it stand out under like different lighting and whatever. So it's the first layer. Second layer, yeah, this is what I talked about with the directional noise for metallics. Here I used some spots, and I didn't completely erase parts. I just made them appear darker because I want this this line design to shine through more, but I still want to have I still wanted to add some variation to it. And we have next layer is just the first thing that I showed you, just some edge wear broken up, and there's even some gradient to put some focus on the front of the gun. There we go. Yeah, it's just a gradient that's focusing more on the front, but there's still some parts visible in the back. Next one. Yeah, this is just some color variation. I'd like to do this with metals. They usually have some darker spots in the metal, and the edges are usually lighter, so that's what I try to emulate with this. And it just makes the metals look deeper, and yeah, I don't know how to explain it properly, but so yeah. Next one, again, directional noise with edge wear. Pretty simple. And this is, yes, this is the mag grunge that I showed off earlier as well. Hopefully that gives you guys some ideas on what to do. I know this probably isn't like a good tutorial for everyone. I tried my best, but I think the most important part is just understanding the layering and how to create the masks that you want to make and you feel like are gonna look good. Also, I encourage all of you to download this file, look through it yourself, you know, try to understand what I did with the layers, with the colors, with the roughness, and yeah, if you have any questions, then I'll be happy to answer those.